12 almost now.
Adam Ball.
BBC Radio Oxford.
Right then, I want to introduce you to a group of friends who first met back in 1972 when the UK was led by Prime Minister Edward Heath. A pint of milk was 6p, a pint of beer was 18 pence, and a 1 3/4 pound loaf of white bread was just 10 pence. John White, Ron Crease, Chris Digweed and Dave Jones are all the longest serving members at Oxford Golf Club, a combined 237 years. Now, the Fab Four have played 80,000 rounds of golf, hit 19 holes in one, and walked more than 288,000 miles at the Cowley course. And I'm sure they've got a few stories to share. So I've invited the golfing friends into the studio to celebrate their milestone and find out how golf has changed their lives. So first of all, welcome all of you to the studio. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
So, where do we start? John, this starts with you, I suppose, back in 1957 when you became a member of the Oxford Golf Club. So tell us why you joined.
I lived on Lye Valley, overlooking the 13th fairway. Nothing in between except a brook from where we lived. And we used to... There was a chap called Bill Kimber, who was the greenkeeper at that time, who came from Bayworth on Balls Hill. And my father was born in Bayworth. So Dad negotiated with this chap. And we could play up and down the 13th with whatever clubs we could find from junk shops in St Ebbs.
Wow.
As long as we didn't go on the green, as long as we got out of the way when somebody went by. And that's how it started. And then in
did you have to pay a guinea a year to play?
In 1957 he went up to the golf club, had a word with a chap called Ted Butler, who was the secretary then, and he joined myself and my brother for a guinea a year.
Wow. What is it about golf then that's kept you there, John?
Friendships, associations, challenge. Every round of golf is different. You play the same course, but you never play it the same way. The conditions vary, and it's just another challenge. And when you find a good golf course to play, you tend not to move away.
I mentioned at the start 80,000 rounds, 19 holes in one. So who's had all these holes in one?
I've had 4.
7.
I've had 2.
6.
Wow. Okay, so fairly evenly distributed there, but that goes to show really the facts of 80,000 rounds for 19 holes in one. So they are as rare as people say, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ron, you're the oldest member of the group at 90. I hear you joined the club on quite a famous year.
Yeah, the year we won the Football Cup.
So it was when England famously won the FIFA World Cup when defeating, that was Germany, wasn't it? 4-2 at Wembley.
Yes.
Wow, and that's when you joined.
That's when I joined in '66.
Tell me about your memories of when you first joined.
Well, I joined because I was used to play football and cricket, and I was then unable to play football and cricket because I had a knee problem. So I looked into what sports I could play, and I had my knee operated on, and I found that I could play golf, but I'd never played golf before, so I found out at Southfield that I could have 6 lessons with the pro, and if the pro thought that I was good enough, he would recommend me for membership.
And I'm guessing that's what happened.
So I had my 6 lessons, and the pro recommended me for membership, and I went before the committee, and I paid £10 to join for the first year.
Wow.
In '66.
Chris and Dave, how did you get involved?
Well, I was introduced to golf by a relative of my wife, so she's probably regretting it ever since. But my first memories were similar to Ron. When I joined, I needed to have 6 lessons, and I had mine with a Scots lad, Andrew, who was the assistant to Tony Rees, who was their head pro. And after the 6th lesson, we were walking back to the clubhouse, And I thought the lessons had gone quite well, but the last thing he said to me is, "Don't worry, Chris, as long as you hit your bad ones straight, you'll be okay." And sadly, that doesn't always happen.
And what about you?
Football injury when I was a young man.
Yeah.
22. You couldn't get into a golf club in Oxford in those days.
Was it quite a highbrow?
Well, not really. There were only 8 courses in Oxfordshire. So, and you couldn't get into a golf club unless you had a handicap. And you couldn't get a handicap unless you were in a golf course. So
Catch
it was
22.
a bit of your hair. So I joined Shrivenham. Was there for probably about 8 months and got a handicap that would get me in as a full member at Southfield. And so I joined in the September, and I think the fee I paid that year was about £55. So
Can hear it going up.
These guys got away with murder.
You can tell, all of you have had quite a mission to get into the golf club and to be able to, start at the beginning.
Yes.
But it was probably one of the best courses in the county.
Everyone wanted to be there.
It was. Most of the courses that you play on are enjoyable, but to have 18 holes of challenging golf is what you want. Plus the people that were there were characters, and we can all remember a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
And I won't go into detail because the older guys will know even more characters. But it's what makes the game. You can go into the golf club, and even if you're on your own, there will be somebody there saying, "Are you fixed?" No, why? Come on, join us, and you go out.
There's a lot of camaraderie there.
Absolutely marvellous.
Yeah.
You could recommend it. Every one of us would recommend it to anybody.
Well, talk to me about how you four became friends then. How did that happen?
Who said we were friends?
No friends in golf.
It is. No, you get to play with people, and
You get to know
you get
them.
to know people, and you walk around and you say to somebody, "John, are you fixed?" No, I'm fixed. Sorry, and you'd ask anyone to play.
Yeah.
And I think the vast majority of the members of the club are basically friends with each other.
And that's a lovely thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the Oxford Golf Club is clearly really important to all of you. What memories stand out about playing there during your time together on the courses? Have you got any things that stand out as funny moments or difficult times even?
Well, you always remember hole-in-ones, whether you got them or somebody else got them in your game. The first hole-in-one I saw was a lad called Ron Bradbury. Sadly, he's died. But it was the second hole, which in those days was only a par 3. It's now been extended. And he topped his shot off the tee, and we never saw where it went. And we were searching around the back of the green and so on, and there it is in the hole.
In the hole.
So nobody actually saw that hole-in-one. And you remember that because it seems a crazy thing. You'd expect to witness a hole-in-one, and not necessarily.
Are there any rules with when you get holes in ones? Have you got to do a certain celebration or?
Yeah, you buy a bottle of whiskey behind the bar and put it on the bar for the lads to help themselves.
Well, hang on. The person who got the hole in one
Oh,
has to buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? See, I don't understand that. It's like when it's your birthday, you've got to bring your own cake in. It should be the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
The old tradition was actually when you went into the clubhouse, you rang the bell, and you bought everybody in the clubhouse at that time a drink.
What if it was absolutely packed?
Well, you don't go in the clubhouse.
The car park fills up very rapidly.
In general, it's because well, the first one you probably did that. Once you've had one, you tend to then go in and say, "I've had a hole in one." Most of the people that you've gone and played with aren't there, but you go and as Ron said, you stick a bottle on the bar. And,
That's lovely.
People help themselves, and it's amazing how many friends I suddenly have when I see a bottle on the bar.
And I bet it stops people lying about holes in one as well, because they're not going to want to buy the whiskey if they haven't really had one, are they? Let's be honest. What difference has golf made to you all personally? Can we sort of just work along you and just give us a little bit of an idea on how golf has...
Well, for me, Adam, before I started golf,
Yeah.
I was playing cricket at Horsebath and football at Presteel. and I joined the golf club, and I never played either of those sports again.
Wow.
Because golf just took my interest and took everything. I just didn't want to consider any other sport at all. And it's been like that for, well, since 1968. So it's been a number of years.
Wow, that's a long time. And what about you?
Yes, it was something that once I'd started, my wife wasn't keen on me playing golf. She was quite happy I stopped playing football because I might not get back if we were in a away match till 7 or 8 at night. But when you play golf, she thought, oh, great, you're only going to be out for a couple of hours.
No.
And then, no, she soon realised that was a mistake. But the nice part for me really was that when my son got old enough, I took him to the pro, who gave him lessons, and we started to play together once he was older. And it's been something, even now I can play with my son and my grandson.
That's lovely.
Unfortunately, the worst part, they beat me so easily.
It's all down to the clubs, though, surely.
No.
Ron, what about you? How has it changed for you?
Well, it's changed me because I was always at the golf club and never particularly at home. And when my son came along, yeah, I was like Dave, he had lessons at the pro shop. And as he got older, he got a good handicap. And he got down to 6 handicap. And I remember I went out and got down to 6. So I went home and I said, oh, I'm same handicap as you now, 6. He said, I'm not having that. So he went out at the weekend and got down to 5.
Oh, no. Did you ever manage to get down there as well, or did you leave it at 6?
No, the 6 was the lowest I was. So.
What about you, John? How has it changed you and your life over the years?
Well, it gives you a big interest and a big circle of acquaintances as well as friends and banter. There's so much banter on a golf club.
I've seen it this morning between you guys. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Everybody has got one leg longer than the other because everybody's pulling the one of those legs. But, I mean, it gives you a fantastic interest. Every round of golf, we've talked about it just now, is different to every other round of golf you play. You don't know what's happening. And the thing about golf, the challenge about golf, is that ball just sits there with no momentum on it whatsoever. And everything that happens to that ball is down to you.
Yeah.
So it teaches you reliance on your skills, your abilities.
You're on your own.
You can't blame anybody else at all.
Yeah, that's really
true. And
true.
I think we're lucky because we do play on such a good course.
Yes.
For me to get to the golf club, I have to drive past another course. And there's not once when I've considered leaving Oxford and joining this other course.
Well, that's a testament to the club, just as all as you are, actually.
Mm. And also, I've been playing in the same 4-ball on a Friday for about 30 years with people I work with. And one of the lads moved down to the New Forest about 5 years ago. He joined a club in the New Forest, but he still drives up every Friday to play with us because partly because of the company, I'm sure. But more importantly, I think it's because of the quality of the course.
He drives from the New Forest every Friday to come and play with you guys. Wow. I mean, that's an incredible thing in itself, isn't it? Well, we're going to have to call it a day there, but it's been absolutely lovely having the 4 of you in the studio with me.
Thank you.
John, Ron, Chris and Dave, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your stories. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.